Hello, everybody. Let's get this music out of here. What do you say? How is everybody tonight? I know some of you must be very sleepy because this is a very strange time to get started. Once again, I am your host, Scott. As always, 100% AI free. And we've already got a couple people in the chat, including my dad. Hello there, Dad, which everybody else can call the Texas Gypsy. And Monica is here, all the way from Scotland, staying up late. Staying up late, yeah, good. Okay, good. So Dad says the sound is good. Thank you, that's good. Got the new microphone in place here. Let's get a different camera angle here. What do you think? I could lift it so you can see it. So I spent some money that I got doing a side job for somebody. I spent a little bit of that money on a new microphone, and from what I've heard of the test recordings, I really seem to think it sounds pretty good to me. Pretty good bass response, and I haven't done any EQing with it. There's plugins I could add in the live streaming software here to boost the bass and make myself sound more manly. But so far, I think it's a pretty good mic. So this is later in the evening than we have been used to doing, isn't it? I think I put some community posts up explaining that I'd be doing this later at night, and I'm glad to see, Monica, that you stuck around. I was wondering if you would join us or not. It being so late, it's like 3 in the morning for you or something over there in Scotland. Looking forward to seeing if you're going to make a video for us traveling a little bit further south. I was born over there in Scotland. What did we say it was? 40, 50 miles south of you. So if you can get your electric bike out there and film some of that countryside, I'd love to see it. I know my dad would love to see it. He's got more memories than I do, that's for sure, of that area. What else is new and what else is going on? There are a few changes, which are sort of interesting, I think. I reorganized the bookcase behind me. I figured if that was going to be an ongoing background, I might as well neaten it up a little bit. So, yeah, yeah. Monica says, yes, it is indeed 3 a.m. over here. So maybe she's a night owl. that would be good. So, yeah, just organize the bookcase and a few other things just so that it's somewhat presentable behind me. Took out some of the clutter and junk that was back there, and I guess filled it in with some nicer looking books and things like that. So I got a new hat, which I'm sporting today. This is by that brand that I really like, which is called Boston Scally. And this is the, oh, Monica, you should like this. This is the Loch Ness edition of the Boston Scally hat. So I'm representing Nessie today. And so we got a new mic, I got a new hat. I bought a new tripod. Well, it's really a selfie stick. This was recommended by Rob the Mariner, who is the YouTuber who teaches you how to YouTube, essentially. And it's pretty nice. It's a selfie stick, so I can attach my I didn't bring my camera over here. I'd show you guys my filming camera, but I've got this mount which is attached and ready to go to the top of that. And it also, I'm sure you've probably seen a million of them that does this, but this um, becomes a tripod as well. So, and of course, this stick, um, goes out. So if I have it on the ground with the tripod extended and then the full length extended, it's 5 feet tall. So it's a nice little tripod. It's not super stable because it's only this wide at the base, and then if it's really tall, it becomes top heavy, but as long as you don't knock it, it's fine. So excited about that. I also used the money. I did a side job recently doing some computer work over at somebody's house, helping him out with some projects that he's working on. So that funded a microphone and that tripod. So that's pretty cool. And then Yeah, you like the hat too. You like the hat, Monica? Good. Yeah, I like the colors. I need to find a few more shirts that have this green. Where is it? This green color um in the shirts maybe, right? What? You can say hi. Suzuki is bothering me at my feet and she says hi. So now that Suzuki has said hi, she can go back to being a cat and getting out of our hair maybe. Suzuki, chill out. Go to sleep, lay down. What are you guys talking about? I lived in Edsel for 27 months while in the U.S. Navy, and therein is why Scott was born in Scotland. And she, in reply, saith, I use something very similar tripod too. Ulanzi, I believe it's called. Super handy because the magnet just stick to the phone. Yeah, exactly. The idea there with the magnetic backs to our phones is so handy, right? I've got a what do you call these, pop sockets or something? But psh, the magnet on the back is great. And I was filming with my phone for quite a long time up until recently. Only recently got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Again, funded with some money from a side project. It's been a very good camera, and that's when I switched. What's he saying? Kanban wa Kuzuki? Oh, who knows what my dad is saying? Sorry, he's speaking another language. Talking to my cat, I guess. Um, Stop distracting me with Japanese. So I was filming with the phone for quite a long time, and when I got that new DJI camera was when I started making 4K videos. So that's when the videos on the channel went 4K. She's playing with something. Okay, I think she's out of her hair now. Translation from Japanese. Good evening, Kuzuki. Kuzuki. I don't know why you say Kuzuki. Her name is Suzuki, but Kuzuki is cool. And Monica says, I'll try to make it down there. It's a bit too far at the moment. Looking forward to discover that area. Yeah, you'd probably like that area, I bet you. No doubt. But what area in Scotland would we not like? None of them. The answer is none. Um, yeah, Suzuki. The name is Suzuki. Monica, you get around on a e-bike, right? So I imagine your range is a little limited, right? Cool. Um, So yeah, I started making 4K videos with that new camera, and that no, not Suzuki, Suzuki. Are you going to make me type it? I'm going to type it for your benefit. Suzuki, like the motorcycle. There you go. Yes, Suzuki, like the motorcycle. There you go. Enough of the cat. Suzuki is the topic of tonight's live stream is cat talk. Welcome to Cat Talk, everybody. Let's take a look at the channel for a second and just peek at a few things. Let me change our view. And what do you think of my fancy background here? I've got a fancy live camera view back there. This is some film I shot. It's some video I shot recently out in the Everglades. It's just running on loop back there. So let's take a look at the channel and see what's happening. We are at 2,897. We're almost at 2,900 subscribers, and we're doing about 2 a day, as I had said to you before. And what is she saying? Yes, her e-bike is the Rock Machine E-Catherine, a bit pricey, loving it. I think I've cycled 3,000 kilometers. What? 3,000 kilometers in a little bit over a month. That is a ton for a bicycle, even if it is electric. That's nuts. Hold on a second. She's getting into something. What are you playing with? Okay, calm down. Be cool. She's just playing with the pile of stickers we have over there. Speaking of stickers, I've got stickers and magnets to hand out to anybody that I run into. For the channel, I get those made by Sticker Mule. They're not very expensive if you wait until they go on sale. She's the most distracting thing ever. It's like having a kid. Okay, so what were we talking about? The channel. Yes, we're getting about 2 or 3 subscribers a day, so we will actually be at 2,900 probably like this time tomorrow or sooner. And then it's only 100 to go to hit the big 3,000. So we'll probably hit that in 50 days or less, maybe more if it increases at a faster rate. And I got to tell you something I'm really surprised by. Yes, thank you, Monica. It's doing good. Something that really surprises me is that the number of subscribers to the channel that grow as a result of shorts. And if we look at the content pages, you can see that the number of shorts that I put out there, these views are kind of ridiculous. These shorts just take off, and it's very easy to make these little 20-second and 30-second shorts out of a long form video. But the number of subscribers that are coming out of these shorts are shocking. In fact, I guess I could go into the analytics real quick and show you. Let's just pull up a page that I saved, a report that I saved on there. We'll go into advanced mode, and we'll pull this down, and it's where was it? Did I save it? I don't know if I saved it. Yeah, it was subscribers gained and lost, but it was based on, I didn't save the report. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I don't have it. You know where I did save it? Unexpectedly, and I don't have a way to show you, but I have it that I can at least pull it up and look at it myself. In the last 28 days, 43 new subscribers who subscribed while watching a short video, and 14 subscribers while watching a long form video. Now there's no proof that they subscribed because of what they were watching at the time, but out of 50 subscribers in the past 28 days, 43 people. Well, the reason it doesn't add up to 50 is because there are people who subscribe while they're not either watching a video or a short. So 43 people subscribed while watching a short and 14 while watching a long form video. But that also makes sense because the views are so much higher on these crazy shorts. It's sort of insane. If we look at the viewership of these regular, most recent videos, they're not that spectacular. The one that most recently came out, 22 views on the escape to Stranahan River, 19 views on therapy versus therapeutic, 45 on the trip to Boynton Inlet. This one, we talked about this last week. This one has 2,466 views, and I still, to this day, don't understand where that spike came from. When I look at the source of the traffic, it mysteriously says that it was a YouTube ad that was driving it, but I did not buy an ad or run an ad campaign. So if we look at this video and we go to reach, we'll see that it's got this massive 97% from YouTube advertising, which is ridiculous, but I did not. I'll show you. I'll go to my dashboard, and then sorry, actually not dashboard. Where is it? It's under content, promotions. There's one promotion that was run way back in May when I did this documentary video and I wanted to have more views on the documentary video, but this is not the video that in question that's caused all this traffic in the recent situation that I'm talking about. So I don't know. I still don't understand what happened with that one particular video. It just blew up, and somebody else might have bought advertising on and advertised one of my videos, which would seem strange. I've read reports that people who don't like you for some reason would do that, and I don't know if that's true, that it somehow hurts you to have advertised based views driven to your channel. I don't know. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen here. I don't know. All right, here's a question from my dad. Is it true that all of the long form videos are horizontal and all the shorts are in the vertical format? Yeah, that is correct. You've got it. You've got it figured out, Pops. Let's take a look at the content page. Under content, we'll just filter this so that only the public videos show up. And you can see that all of the long form videos are horizontal like this, and they all, if I were to watch one of them, let's just pick view for the heck of it here. You ever heard of the? Yeah, so it's a wide horizontally shot video. Now, if we go back to the channel and we go to shorts, those are the ones that look like they're filmed for the aspect ratio of for your cell phone, basically. So if we were to pull up one of these videos, you can see the vertically formatted. It's got some content in the middle, but it's a vertically formatted video, and it's really meant for cell phone viewing. These things get ridiculous numbers of views because I think they count it as a view if anybody's scrolling through and they pause and watch it for more than like 5 seconds, it counts as a view. So yes, to answer your question, that is exactly what that is. Monica says maybe it was just a well-timed video and you could discover another time if it works again and follow the pattern. Are you planning that? So I wasn't. I don't think that's a bad idea. It very well could be that it was just released at the perfect time. And maybe there was something about that thumbnail that stood out to people. It is unique in the sense that it's got the little battery icon. Um, but I don't know. I'm currently running a little experiment to see um, if these thumbnails that don't have my face do better. These thumbnails here don't have my face on them, and I'm just kind of doing a research because everybody says put your face on the video. That one did have it, but it's really tough to know what was the thing, what was the magic trick that kicked that thing off, I don't know. Sometimes it's just a mystery. I got a video about changing my taillights on my car that's got 36,000 views or something, so, okay, so here's an interesting question, Monica, and, Monica's got her own channel, and she says, "I wanted to ask, how do you feel about seeing yourself on camera? You seem confident to the max." That's a very nice thing for you to say, and it just comes from I've been doing it for a long time, and I got over it. I don't care. I know what I look like, and I know I don't sound the way when I listen back to a recording, the way I hear my voice inside my own head. I'm just used to that, but I have been making these videos forever. I will show you folks something. I'm gonna uncheck this visibility public, and I'm just going to show you some of my old videos that are no longer visible because this YouTube channel used to be on a different topic. And so I've been making videos it was basically a motorcycle and camping based um, channel. So I've got these videos going back 11 years, something like 13 or 1400 videos. So I've been talking to the channel for a very long time, whether it was on-screen camera like this or sometimes just talking from inside the helmet, taking motorcycle trips and motorcycle camping trips. But you can see that my views never really took off. Oh wow, that one's got 5,800 views, but that's sort of typical. Whenever we would test ride a motorcycle, those things would take off. Without fail, if you visited, look at this. I test review the Aprilia Touareg, 7,000 views. So it was without fail. If you go and looked at a specific motorcycle or test rode your friend's motorcycle, um, here's one about test riding a KTM, 11,000 views. So to answer your question, ma'am, the point is that I've been making videos on this channel unsuccessfully for 11 years, and I'm just not camera shy anymore. It took some time, but I certainly was. If we were to go back and look at my videos from 10 years ago, talking in front of the camera, I avoided looking into the camera. I would frequently make videos like this, talking, and every once in a while I'd glance at it and then look off to the side and talk off to the side. And eventually I get to the point where I don't care anymore. Um, when I do these live streams, by the way, I just use the built-in camera that is on my monitor. I have a computer monitor that has like a conference call camera built into it. What do you call it? like a zoom camera it would be. What do you call them? What's the word? Man, I'm going crazy. Let's just ask Google. What what do you call the camera on a laptop or monitor? Sometimes I can't remember what I'm talking. Webcam. That's it. Of course, it's a webcam. I've got a webcam at the top of my monitor, and I use that to do these live streams with. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, with the long beard, that is true, Dad. I had a very, very long Gandalf beard for many years. Monica says, "What made you shift from one topic to another?" P.S. You look great. The reason I shifted topics from motorcycle, yeah, thanks, Dad. Now he says webcam. Yeah, thanks. Now that I already looked it up, that's the problem. There's a big delay with chat, right? Because I'm talking, and it takes about 10 seconds for my voice to reach your computer screen, and then you reply with a chat, and it takes another 5 or 10 seconds for that chat to get through to me. So I'll say one thing, you'll reply immediately, and I'll see it 30 seconds later, or even longer if I'm not paying attention. And then I reply and I talk about it, and you see that 10 or 15 seconds later. So it's not exactly the most up to date, up to up to the second conversation, but that's live streaming, right? Okay, so her question was, what made you shift from one topic to another? I would say 90% of the reason for that is because I was making videos with my friend, my writing buddy, who I also worked with for many years. And then he left the company I work at, but we were still writing together every weekend, et cetera, and making videos together. And he retired from work and is doing a lot of other things right now. And we don't get to go ride motorcycles as much as we used to. And so if it was a motorcycle centric channel and I wasn't riding that much like I used to, then that would be kind of lame. And so I took the motorcycle and motorcycle camping side and split them. And I said, well, I still like going out to parks and I still like going out to camping and the wilderness and going out into the Everglades or national parks or state parks. So I just separated the motorcycle part from the motorcycle camping and the motorcycle outdoors and decided to focus mainly on I'm just going to make videos going out into green spaces. And the really big change for me was when I realized that going out into those green spaces and those parks and nature preserves and wildlife refuges, um, they change something in my mind and it gets me out of the chaotic stressfulness that I feel being cooped up in the city and being in the crowded suburbs. I live in a suburb area, but it's a very crowded, congested suburban area. We have about 4,000 people per square mile population density here. So we're jammed together pretty close. And I realized that getting out into the Everglades on a Saturday calms my mind and reduces stress. And then a couple of the YouTubers that I was watching who were talking about how to make YouTube videos emphasized that a channel is more meaningful if it's helping someone. So I tried to think who is who is my typical audience member, right? Who's my typical person watching videos, and then how could I help them? And I decided the focus of the channel wouldn't just be I'm going out into the wild and doing cool stuff. It's going to be encouraging other people to also get out into green spaces and hopefully benefit from what I benefit from. So I'm encouraged. That's the purpose of the channel, right? So to prove it, let's take a quick trip over to the main page of the channel and look what it says up here. My name is Scott, and I'm finding hope, healing, and mental well being in nature's peaceful places with like minded, city stressed souls. Join me as I find renewal in national parks, hiking trails, and natural preserves that help us breathe again. What we'll discover together hidden gems in state and national parks, peaceful hiking trails, nature escapes, serene lakes, forests, and natural preserves Practical tips I've found beneficial for outdoor adventures. So, the purpose of the channel is no longer let's get on a motorcycle and go find someplace cool to ride out in the woods. It is let's all get out into the woods, motorcycles or no. More than you wanted to know. You ask me one small question and you get a very, very long winded answer. So let's see. That's probably enough on the channel. Yeah, we've looked at this stuff. Oh, there's a real quick peek at our newest subscribers, people who have chosen to make their subscription status public. We've got somebody named Adventure with Grace who's got 3,000 subscribers. So it's not just her YouTube name, it's also a active channel. And Adventure with Grace, I looked at a few of these channel videos. Pretty nice stuff. She's got some pretty cool stuff, and she's outdoorsy. Says she's a vibrant Filipino American woman whose passion for sport, storytelling, blah blah blah. So yeah, pretty cool. Nice channel, neat stuff. She's got some great scenery oriented videos. Adventure with Grace. If you're into the kind of stuff that I'm into, you might be into her. Dad, you notice her dog is Paul Anka. Her dog's name is Paul Anka, she says. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, so Adventure with Grace, Jacob Jones, Preston Nance, Lou, Michael. Now you can see over here, these folks just got a couple of subscribers, so they're not really running a channel per se. Here's one with nearly 70 subscribers, Finessed Mom 420, Blaze It, ma'am. So yeah, that's cool. She's got some videos. I'm assuming it's a she. Finessed Mom is the name. I don't know. Maybe not. Lots of gaming videos. Videos of going out and doing video gaming and stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool. I don't really play a lot of video games, especially now these days. It's been a long time since I played any kind of major video games. Let's check the chat. That friend sounds like a cool dude, says Monica. My pal said exactly the same the other day, nearly word by word. He said, some of the videos are working well because you make people think, and that means art. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So I'm an artist. She says, so I'm an artist. So that is true. I guess that's a very good way to look at it. Making videos like this is an art form, Monica, and you are an artist too. My dad says Paul Anka is a musical genius who started at 15 and is now in his 80s. Yeah, that's right. Hey, speaking of artists, let's go look at this channel. Oh, come on. How did that happen? Let's go look at this lady's channel. She's got some cool videos. This is Monica's channel here, who's gracing us with her presence at 3:30 in the morning over there. Inverrary's Glow. I probably didn't say it right, Monica. Inverrary's Glow. Oh, I know this guy. I know that cow. So your scenery over there is just unbelievable. I jokingly said, you live in a really beautiful part of the Shire, but I'm really not kidding around. That's kind of what this scenery looks like to me. You live in the Shire. Hey, who's that? Somebody just sped by on an e-bike. Did anybody get that license plate? Monica, I'm curious how you filmed this. Did you have somebody else behind you on another bicycle filming this scenery, this scene behind you here? I don't suppose that was a drone in follow mode or one of these 360 selfie sticks that you can't see the stick, right? It looks like it's too far away. Did you have a friend or somebody following you? Because that's a really cool shot. It kind of reminds me of what I used to do with the motorcycle channel. Monica says, every day is a school, learn something new. That's true. She goes, I'm super camera shy. Yeah, thanks a lot, Scott, for putting me on camera on your channel. Hey, is this a copyright violation if I play your videos on my live stream? I don't think so. I'm going to claim fair use because we're commenting on the channel. Inverury is correct. Like I said, I suckle everywhere. You make me laugh. I make myself laugh. That's good. That's the whole point. So everybody go check out The Quiet Nomad. The more you do YouTube and the more you start talking, you're going to have to change your name. You won't be quiet anymore. Ruel T, David Karinick, Alan joined, and we got a few folks here that we talked about last week who have quite a few subscribers. Healthy Kitchen Wizard, Tendy Edits, which is my friend Alex, Sabrine, some of these other folks. So that's the subscribers of late. And I guess one thing that we always do, that was my loyal, she says, she's replying to my question about who was filming, right? That was my loyal boyfriend and partner, Keith, and he has a regular bike, and he hold the bar with one hand, and he just wrist tripping over, and yeah. So, yeah, that was nice of Keith to film you. Made some good footage. You should do that again. Also, if you can get the camera mounted on the back of his bike looking backwards at you, and then you follow him and it films you like you're chasing the camera, that would be an excellent shot. I can tell you from personal experience, that was some of the best footage we got on motorcycles, was a rear facing camera, and then you follow that camera, and then don't look at the camera when you're riding, right? Look out at the scenery. Tonight's drink is Publix Diet Sweet Tea, brewed locally. That's the only problem living in Scotland. You don't have access to Publix supermarkets. All right, let's look at some of the comments that we have had happen in the past week. And Monica, you're right down here, but I think we might have reviewed some of these already. This is the conversation we had in the chat where you said you're in Scotland. Let me know what time you're going to be live, and sure enough, you made it. And then you said, "This is interesting." In replying to that battery video, the secret is that you have to rest with the same intensity you live your life, and you put those efforts into work, relationships, and everything, because otherwise you end up burned out. I've been through this, and that think just years later understood the root cause of it. What's funny is that my social battery drains down when I meet with people, and being in the suburbs just around the town where I live and can cycle with my bike makes me feel grounded. No thoughts or the little narrator in my mind, like the devil sitting on your shoulder, just complete peace and harmony. And then thanks for this reminder again. So that was a really nice comment from you. I don't remember if we talked about on the live stream last week, that one. Maybe. Every once in a while I have to go back and see what you guys say in the chat. Okay, she says, once when I went, I've got this setting turned on that shrinks the font if it's, you know what I can do? Let's make these, whoops, not that one, silly. We can make these bigger. There we go. That hopefully won't screw it up when it's a regular sized comment. Once when I went to a camp during the summer at age of 8 or 9, I got a postcard with a Dr. Fish on it because supposedly that's the loudest fish. So I'm not quiet. Okay. So you're not that quiet of a nomad. Very good. Very good. Yeah, so there you go. Tell Keith your idea of a rear-facing camera, and you chase it. It gets some really good footage. That is the way to go. All right, Robert's active retirement. Sorry, I'm looking over my shoulder. I'm just peeking at what the cat's up to, and she's watching the clownfish tank. I'll show you a real quick scene of the fishy tank over there. There's the clownfish. Oh, it's hard to steer my finger correctly. Anyway, you can see the clownfish over there, and kitty cat's watching that. Okay, so then this fella Robert with his active retirement. I was heading to Tampa that day and was heading straight over the bridge but was only about 20 minutes away. I had to reroute and go all the way around. So what he's talking about here, he's talking about a video I made with I made a video of going to Tampa Bay and driving over the Tampa Bay Bridge. And there was a disaster that had happened. Now I'm going from memory now, right? What was it, 1985 or something? I can't remember now. 35. I could watch the video, but I'm not going to do it. Anyway, his point was on the day of the disaster, he was headed to Tampa and he was planning on driving straight over the bridge that day, but he was about 20 minutes away when the bridge got run into by the ship that collapsed the bridge. He had to reroute and go all the way around. I still think about how close I was. That's just so freaky and so scary. Um, to think that that guy, Robert, and we looked at his channel recently. He's a nice guy. Um, he's got some cool videos over here. Nice dude. I actually ran into him and I met him through that Rob the Maritimers channel, the YouTube centric guy. And that's where I met this fellow. He's got some nice videos in his active retirement channel. If we peek, just so you know who I'm talking about, Rob the Maritimer, he's up in, my goodness, why is my brain, when you talk straight for 30 or 40 minutes, your brain stops working correctly. And here, I'll tell you where he's at. He's up in the Maritimes, obviously. That's an easy way to pot that is he's in the Maritimes, of course. No, he's in, why does my brain want to say British Columbia, but he's not in British Columbia. He is in Nova Scotia. Come on, Nova Scotia. Yeah, sorry. He's in Nova Scotia near Halifax, and he makes these videos about making videos, and he encourages folks like us to make a YouTube channel, and he teaches you how to do it, and he teaches you how to use the technology and how to use the YouTube control panel. And, his popular videos like this one, 488,000 views, why people over 40 must start a YouTube channel. I think that might be the first video I ever saw on his channel and ran into him and how I came across him. But he's been extremely encouraging. Some of his video titles are alluring. Don't tell anyone about your YouTube channel. How YouTube changed my life in 4 months. How to create a YouTube channel in 2025. What happened when my friends found out I'm a YouTuber? So if you have an inkling to be a YouTuber, or if you already are a YouTuber and you're not already checking out Rob the Maritimer, definitely make sure you visit his channel. All right, let's get back to the topic at hand, which was our comment section. That was down a little rabbit hole. That's okay. I like rabbit holes. All right. Our friend John Ruddy in Jacksonville, who's been on every single one of these live streams so far. And unfortunately, he told me in the comments earlier tonight that when he saw that we would be doing this at 10 o'clock Eastern, he said, no can do, buddy. It's too late for him. So we missed out on John. John, if you get a chance to watch this again asynchronously later on in the week, we are thinking of you. His comment from a week ago, this is, he was talking about our retirement video. He said, it's just a thought. I agree. Those folks over at least 40 or closer to 50, their identity is at least half of who they are. They're passionate about being successful and the company being successful. The older they are, the older, more mature in your career, the more this is true and the more withdrawal you feel when you leave the job. I believe the younger generation, aka less than 35, they're not as connected to a company nor a particular, only maybe 70%. They're more connected to health, social activity, and a paycheck and how fast they can retire. So he's making a distinction that there's a different attitude towards retiring or even how you gain a sense of worth from your job and whether that's tied up in your identity. It seems to be related somewhat to your generation, the older folks versus the younger folks. I know the younger folks tend to switch jobs more frequently and can be seen as being more interested in finding new experiences than in finding a lifelong career with one company. And I don't know if that's backfiring or not, but I did recently hear of some hiring managers saying, at least at least privately saying, the problem with hiring the Gen Z folks is you don't know if they're going to stick around. So, something to be aware of for them, I suppose. All right, let's take a peek at the chat. What am I missing? I ran into him the very first time. Great channel, very informative. You are right. So that must be about Rob the Maritimer as well. Maybe that's where I ran into you. I can't remember, Monica, if that's where I first saw your channel, The Quiet Nomad. Maybe you made a chat or a comment in one of his live streams or in one of his videos. Or maybe I just found your channel surfing. I can't remember now. Yeah, so here we go. 5 days ago, after we did our last live stream and I talked about Monica's channel, I then went and tagged everybody, and she went back and watched and saw us talking about her. So now I'm going to make you blush, Monica. Oh no, what this thing did, it just refreshed. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. She said, I'm going to be honest with you. This little touch on my channel made me cry because I felt recognized after such a long time. It's been very difficult for me. In many ways, your recommendation of my channel is very generous, kind, and respectful. And then she gives us some background about herself being Hungarian, living in Scotland. So, yeah, I won't read this entire thing, but it was a very, very nice follow-up comment from you, Monica. I appreciate this. And anybody who's interested can either pause this live stream and read the whole thing or go read it yourself somewhere. But it was nice to have met you, and it has been nice to get to know you a little bit in the comments and in this live stream as well. And she says, I'm only 35, yet I can reference on this thought to the fullest. Sometimes it's so demotivating to see where the youngsters are going. Yeah, and I think it's funny when a 35-year-old talks about youngsters, but my dad thinks it's funny when I talk about youngsters, so it's all relative. It's all relative, yeah. But I have some friends who are in their early 20s, mid 20s. Of course, my own kids, I've got 6 kids of my own, um, ages ranging, 21 to early 30s. And I see a range of them, but I do see some of the youngsters, they would prefer to keep trying different things and finding different job experiences rather than working in one career their whole life. Yeah. Okay, so our friend Living the Life in the Lockyer Life After, which is a weird username, but it makes sense when you realize that his channel is actually called Life After 60. Yeah. Life After 60. Good channel. And he's got a couple of different channels. It looks like for a little bit I was looking at one of his older channels and some of his older videos. So be sure you look at this one, Living Life in the Lockyer, Life After 60. If I remember correctly, is he Australian? He might be Australian. Let's see. Let me find a spot of him talking and unmute him.
Automatically. Section 2, property in trusts or companies. Some people have investment properties or businesses held in.
Yeah, he's an Aussie. I guess I should have known by the hat, but he's Australian. Neat channel. And you see this art behind him. He's drawn all of that art. And he's got videos. I think that's on the other channel. He's got videos where he goes out and visits the places where he had visited to draw this artwork, but now it's many, many, many years later. And some of these buildings are falling down now into into ruin. But these line art and like either pencil or line art pen type drawings, really neat. Cool stuff. Let's take a look at his channel one more time and go to videos. Yeah, so his newer channel here is informational in nature. What's an enduring power of attorney? Who actually owns your house? Who gets your super power of attorney? Is your will enough? Stuff like that. But I think I originally found the old one by searching for living life in the lock year or something like that. Nope, that's the same one. Oh boy, I don't know. I can't remember. So, but the Lockyer is a location. That's where he is. He's living life in the Lockyer. I can't find it now. But his old channel, maybe he took it down because he told me that's my old channel. Go look at my new channel. Maybe he made the old one private. Can't find it anymore. Let's go back here. I accidentally dug into one particular video's comments, and that's why I lost what I was looking for, but that is okay. We're just going to scroll back down to where we were, which is easy to find because it's Monica's comment. Okay. Here is my friend Alex here saying it's actually crazy the amount of story that happened on or around that bridge, talking about that Tampa Bay Bridge. Okay, let's get caught up on the chat. What are you folks saying over here? All right. She says, growing up in an old communist country made some impact on me, LOL, Hamler and Sickle. I don't know where you saw that. I must have had something on the screen that had a hammer and sickle, maybe, not sure. Maybe there was something on his channel. Don't remember. And she says she's painting and drawing 100%. Will definitely check him out. Yeah, see what you think. He's a neat dude. His artwork reminds me of some of the shows which portrayed all the buildings and mansions which ended up being abandoned. Having your videos like that are like that too. It's a footprint in a cave. That's a good way to put it. Our videos that we make here are a footprint in a cave. I kind of sometimes think of them as I'm just writing notes that I can read in the future. Writing notes to myself in the future. It's kind of like time travel, right? Um, it's like time travel. I'm saying something here that people in the future can watch. I wish I could watch a video made by like my great 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 grandfather and find out what life was like for him, and he could just talk and ramble. That'd be pretty cool. But I can't see his videos, but I'm making it so that my great 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 grandchildren can watch these videos and see, boy, that guy was kind of silly. All right, let's wrap up the comments here. Monica said, this is on my conversation about, therapy, whether nature can actually be therapeutic or therapy. And Monica had this interesting comment here about Andras Feldmar, the Hungarian psychologist. He said that in some parts of the world, when someone's schizophrenic, they aren't isolated or given heavy medication. Instead, people surround them with care and love for an extended time. And so that's the environment they put people in to heal them. And then she talks a little bit about Bach flower therapy and yeah, just a general post of agreement. Again, I appreciate it. And if you want to read this longer, you can hit pause and continue. Some of these comments are just me. Here's a comment on our microphone test, and also on that highly viral video about how I fixed my Ford Escape brake light, and you can too. Dave Jones said, "Thanks, bud. That worked." Well, you are welcome, Dave Jones. I'm glad that worked. I didn't really mean to film a video that was going to take off. I was just needing to replace my tail light, and so I went and did it and showed everybody. I said, "Yeah, I'll make a video," because I always make videos. So I made a video about how to do it, and look at this. 23,000 views. Glad it worked. Here's Andreas in Germany saying, "Hey Scott, how you doing? I was out in the low mountains for a 10-mile hike. Had a great time." This fella Karnak says Forest Hills, and my friend Frank is talking about this this microphone I'm speaking into. Frank said he bought the exact same microphone. He says he made some tweaks in OBS, so I'm curious if he EQ'd it or turned on a noise gate or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to send Frank a message and find out. And listen to this here, Granny's Southern Corner, which is a neat YouTube channel. Look at that, almost 400 subscribers. I was looking at Granny's Corner the other day. Um, she's got, she's got a funny personality. You might want to check out Granny's Corner. She showed up in one of the Rob the Maritimer live streams, and I guess she must have seen me say something in there, and she came in here and checked out one of our shorts, and she said, I live in Sebastian, Florida. We still have a few places you can go and commune with nature. It's good for your mind, body, and soul. Funny that she says that, because I was looking at a location over here. 6 Mile, this is pretty close to Sebastian. 6 Mile Cypress Slough Preserve. I think I might take a drive over here. This looks like a pretty neat walk through the wilderness type location. There's our big daddy alligator right there. This is pretty close to Sebastian, where Granny's corner is, right? Oh boy, that is a scary noodle right there. Who can tell me what kind of snake that is? I don't know. Danger noodle is what that snake is called. Danger noodle. But there's some cypress trees, and it looks like they've got a nice elevated boardwalk, which is probably pretty fun to walk on as long as you don't come across a danger noodle. So yeah, I think I'm going to go out there and visit 6 Mile Cypress Slough Preserve, which is pretty close to Sebastian. Double tap there from Granny. That happens sometimes. People hit a reply, and for some reason it shows up twice in our comments. It's just the way it goes. All right, let's check in on the chat and see what they're talking about. Dad says, Monica, was it tough growing up under the hammer and sickle? And in reply, spake Monica. According to my gran, no. She said everyone had jobs and could go to holidays, and everyone had jobs. My side of the story is that the social system, decades behind, could have been more rainbowy. And then Dad says, there's that long beard. And she said, wow, that's a beard. A face love carpet, whatever that means. Might have to explain that one. Yeah, and then here's living life in the yak here, life after 60. After I talked about his channel on the live stream, he said, thanks for the lovely shout out. That's my old channel, but still gets views. And then he drops the link here for the new one. So that's the new channel there. What happens? I can't make decisions anymore. Right. So this is the new channel is about legal documents and stuff like that. Which documents I can't live without, stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe he's a lawyer or what do you call someone prepares legal documentation? I don't know. All right, this one made me laugh. This comment made me laugh right out loud because I made the video about trees and outdoors being therapeutic, not therapy. And then I made some short form videos based on that. This one was called, Can Trees Really Be Your Therapist? And this comment just makes me laugh. Things men will do other than go to therapy. Well, preemptive counterstrike. You're right. There are an uncounted number of things men will do other than go to therapy. And this fella here thinks he's clever. Most of the time, the best therapists are therapists. Well, more power to you, Xander, if you want to go to a therapist. Knock yourself out, bud. Proudly 3 here says, in response to my why I love indefinite work, purpose over paycheck, Proudly 3 said, same here. I thought I was the only one. Greetings from Rwanda. Now, did we really get a viewer from Rwanda? Maybe. Monica clarifying here says it means lots of hair. Yes, that is true. I used to go by the Beard. My nickname was the Beard for a while, and you can tell why from those old videos. That's interesting. If we really got an actual viewer from Rwanda. Yeah, okay, cool. So, Adventure with Grace. We talked about Adventure with Grace's channel. Looking for some quiet time in agreement there. And we've had many comments from Michael Bronner, LMHC. One of these days, Michael, I wish you'd tell me what LMHC stands for. Is that something I should know? LMHC? Uh, Licensed Mental Health Counselor. Well, that makes sense. See, that makes sense because look what he's talking about. Michael Bronner, usefulness is key to our mental health. In response to our talk about loving your work and having a sense of purpose from the work you do, Michael Bronner, licensed mental health counselor, ding, that's called the penny dropped, says usefulness is key to our mental health. yeah, 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 you've got good range of viewers. That's one in Rwanda. I would rather have 1,000 viewers from one place than one viewer from 1,000 places, but that's okay. It doesn't matter as long as they're enjoying the videos and as long as they're getting something out of it, and if the videos are helping them, great. Had an interesting back and forth with my friend Alex here. Tendy edits about DC and the military presence in our nation's capital. Not going to get political on this channel. This is really inspiring to see, and she's talking about this this unknown park. I remember I visited Veterans Park in Margate, and what a neat place. Let me skip ahead to where we were looking at the Veterans Memorial items there in Veterans Park in Margate. That was a neat place. Let's just take a quick. There we go. That's a nice view right there. And in reply, she says, "This is really inspiring to see. I wish Aberdeenshire." Do you guys say Shire or do you say Shire? Is it Aberdeenshire or is it Aberdeenshire? You have to let me know if it's just Shire. Council would take more of this approach instead of focusing so much on new housing developments that often mean cutting down trees and harming local wildlife. It would be wonderful if they invested more in protecting nature and creating opportunities for people, especially with joblessness on the rise. I thought I heard somebody in the other room, but I think I might have been mistaken. Okay, so Monica says it's Shire. So I'm going to assume that means Shire, as in Aberdeenshire. 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 It's Aberdeenshire. I bet we could understand it better with Monica speaking it than someone from Scotland because that's a difficult dialect. Let's see if I can get my voice back here. In 1 minute, I will have been talking for an hour. Monica, I live in. Okay, so let me read this comment here. Monica, I live in the world's second largest Paris. It's in Northeast Texas. Yes. How many Parises are there? Well, that's a question. That's a question for AI, right? How many Paris are there? There are 40 cities globally named Paris, with the majority located in the United States, such as Paris, Texas, and Paris, Kentucky. The most famous Paris is the capital city of France. So there's Paris, Texas, Paris, Kentucky, Illinois, New York, Tennessee, Wisconsin, Iowa, Canada. There is a community named Paris in Ontario. Why is that? I think you can figure the answer out on that one on your own. Several. Okay, yeah. So back to her point, Aberdeenshire, come on, get with the program. Stop knocking down trees and putting up uh, council housing and build parks, or just leave it native. That would be fine too. Here's another comment from our friend Granny's Southern Corner. Got to put your feet on the ground, and it helps your overall health. 100%, Granny. Pistol Shrimp Snip says, Scott, you were right. Rich says, I also like the idea. KMTO6HC, which is a mouthful, says, now I don't understand this one. I never did understand this post. I read it several times, multiple days in a row. On my Crossing the Bridge, Remembering the Tragedy video, KM says, what pier, that little one, Anna Morana? I don't understand. What pier, that little one, Anna Morana? Is that a word I should know? Anna Morana? No. No. It's I don't know what KM was trying to say here. What pier, that little one, Anna Morana? Something in the video. I guess we could watch the video real quick and see if there's a pier that shows up. Let's see here. Um, this was filmed. I guess it does say exploring the pier on the title of the video, right? Overcoming fear and exploring the pier. I guess they're asking what pier are you talking about, right? So I guess the point that I was making in that short is that there were two bridges side by side parallel to each other. One of them, the middle section, fell into the water, and they left the remaining part of the bridge as a fishing pier, if that makes sense. And then the other part of the bridge, the other bridge next to it, which is still in use today, is a bridge all the way across. But if you think about it, you've got a bridge and you take out the middle section and remove it, you're left with two piers approaching each other from opposite sides of the river. That's what that is. So quite a large body of water, Tampa Bay. All right, Monaco with some startlingly good news. They just announced a new battery plant. One of the comments said a prof from Cambridge warned against it as 4 species are engaged in the area, that they are acting on it, and you're not happy. No, I wouldn't be either. That's all we need is more battery plants, right? No, thank you. So they're going to put up a gigantic battery plant factory in the beautiful countryside of Scotland and endanger 4 species. Not good. The most precious thing is nature, which is giving and giving, and I feel people out of hunger for more money, power, whatever, are devaluing it when no one stands up against destroying big sections and land. Yep. All right. So, in response to another short that was about, these shorts, man, I told you the viewership on shorts goes insane. Let me show you something. Let me show you something real quick here. Let's just peek at this saved report. Where is it? Vids versus shorts. Past 28 days. 51,000 views on regular videos or on shorts versus 3,000 views on regular videos. How crazy is that? These shorts have gotten 51,000 views. Now that means somebody stopped scrolling for more than 5 seconds. It doesn't mean they're suddenly your most ardent fan on your channel. And I think a lot of shorts viewers do not convert into dedicated long-term viewers, but I could be wrong. Maybe they do. So what that means is when we're going through our community comments here, we're going to see a lot of comments on shorts. In fact, this entire screen and page fold is all based on shorts. People take the time to comment though, so I'm interested in what they have to say. Yeah, Monica, I understood. You meant endangered. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you said engaged in the area, and that's what I read aloud, but I did understand what you meant is it's endangered. Granny says, I do not like going across that bridge. Remember, she said she's in Sarasota area. All right, we have made it through all of our videos. Let's think for a second about if there's anything else that we want to talk about, because this live stream's gone on and on. Okay, one thing I do want to talk about real quick while we're here is summertime camping. And I made one more effort to go on a overnight camping trip, a Friday night, Saturday morning camping trip. It's just too hot in the summertime. I've given up. Um, it was just too hot all night long. You barely get any sleep at all. And there you go. Here's a reply from my dad. Hey, John, we missed you. We all missed you tonight. 100% correct. Yep. Yep. Oh, I see. Okay. So that's why Monica can stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning. They're going on a holiday this weekend. So yeah, John, if you get a chance to watch this video later on in the week, we all say hi to you and we all miss you. So yeah, summertime camping probably not going to happen for me anymore. I don't think that's going to be a thing. That's twice recently, and both times it's so hot all night long you can't get any sleep all night long. You're just hot. The good thing is living here in South Florida, I've got all fall, all winter, and all spring to go camping. So the coldest we get here is 40, maybe 45, probably. 40 would actually be frightfully cold. It's really going to be high 40s here. Monica, for your sake, that's probably like 10 degrees or something. You're, in Scottish mode. What, kitty cat? What? What are you crying about? What are you crying about? She's over here yelling, being a butthead. You ever heard the thing that all orange cats collectively only have one brain cell that they share, and they all only get access to it one at a time, and that's why orange cats are so butthead? Well, this kitty cat is not an orange cat. She's a Maine Coon, but she's got the one brain cell disease that the orange cats do. So yeah, no more summertime camping. When it gets cooler in the late fall and into the winter, we'll go camping again. Um, let's just talk real quick about what is everybody reading. I would like to know what you're all reading right now. I am currently making my way through. I think it's my third time reading my way through The Lost Road. The Lost Road is some early versions and some early drafts that are collected of the stories of Numenor from the Silmarillion, and it's got some really neat time travel stories as well. But if you're hoping for a great time travel story to read up and dive into and get a great resolution, you can forget it, because he never finished the story. So after he passed, his son collected his unfinished stories, and this has a very, very good beginning and middle of a time travel story, but no ending. It's just the way it goes. All right, let's see here real quick here. Let's get caught up. Nomad says, "Oh wow, that's still all right weather. Could be the same here. Yeah, that would be nice, but right now it's not. Right now it's not that cool. I wish it was. Right now it's 95 or more. In fact, let's peek real quick. Yeah, here it is. 11:15 at night, and it's 81 degrees outside. 81 F. What is that in European numbers? Anybody? I don't know. I'll just ask the browser. That's what I always do. 81 F in C is 27. 27 degrees Scottish right now. So, no summer camping. That's what we're currently reading. I guess the only other thing I want to say is spread the word on Luke the cat is poking his wet nose to my arm and he says hi. Hello, Luke. Luke Suzuki says hi. Suzuki Luke says hi to you. There you go. It might sound silly, but the last thing I read is the Bible, but one of my big favorites is Michael Crichton's science fiction thriller. Please check it out. It's so good, so amazing. Well, you have to tell me which one of his science fiction thrillers. You got to tell me what the title of it is. But no, it's not silly at all to read the Bible. Don't consider that silly at all. That's a very good reading, but you need to tell us what part of the Bible were you reading? Which section, which books of the Bible were you getting into there? And Texas Gypsy says, I'm reading volume 4 of the James Harriet, an English veterinarian from Yorkshire, writing in the 1940s and 1950s. This one's all things wise and wonderful. I remember that book, All Things Wise and Wonderful. There's a whole series of those, right? And I didn't read any of them. I never saw any of them, but I remember having a couple of copies of that around the house when I was growing up there, Pops. So, yeah, that's good that you're reading that. That's cool. All right. Monica says, wish they would turn it into a movie. I was fascinated with it. Now, she's talking about that Michael Crichton book, and it's called The Prey, she says. She tells that book's called The Prey. Michael Crichton, I wish they would turn it into a movie. I was fascinated with it as a teenager. He wrote also the ER Hospital series. Yep, I remember that. Highly recommended if you like sci-fi. So I've read a lot of Michael Crichton. I haven't read The Prey. Obviously, everybody knows he wrote Jurassic Park and Andromeda Strain. If I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm thinking of somebody else, I read a really cool book he wrote called Airframe. Was that him? Let's just double check if that's right or not. Yeah, he wrote Airframe, which was pretty neat. That was a novel. What was that about? I mean, I know what it was about, but I'm trying to think of an easy way to put it. Yeah, it's about the airline industry and how they handle airline safety. That was a cool book. It's not so much science fiction and it's not so much sci-fi type stuff, but it was a novel and it was definitely a thriller. Yeah, so for sure. Yeah, Michael Crichton's cool. He's a very good writer. Very engaging, and his books draw you in. I had forgotten that he wrote ER, that series, or that it was based on him. So I guess what I was about to say before I got distracted by the chat, as usual, is just to spread the word about Escaping the Suburbs and our channel here. Send folks a link to whatever video you think they might like. If you're going to tell somebody about the channel, send them a link to a specific video so that they'll get an idea of what we're doing and what we're into here. I just noticed that my light went off behind me, which is on a timer. That must have happened a quarter of an hour ago at top of the hour. But it also turned off my little fan and whatever else I got going on. There we go. Fire that back up. That was on a timer. So I keep a fan down here to keep the air moving and the light on the, I guess I just woke back up my clownfish. Sorry, Clowny. His name is Crash. The yeah, the the fish's name is Crash. All right. So what else are you guys talking about in the chat? It's a small novel. A dinosaur was also named after him, if I remember well. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, cool. Well, I tell you what, folks, I am gonna, as Rob the Maritimer said in his live stream today, when he was wrapping up, I'm gonna put a cork in it. I'm gonna say goodnight, and I wish you a good holiday, Monica. And I've enjoyed this past hour and 15 minutes or so talking away with you. We will do this again next week. We have had, if you're interested, 10 different people have dropped into the chat. No, excuse me, not the chat. 10 different people have dropped in and watched a little bit of the video. We got some strats here. Strats? No, stats. We can review. Yeah, stream health has been high the entire time. Average view duration was 20 minutes. So out of the 10 different viewers who dropped in, not counting you two goofballs who stayed for the entire hour and nearly hour and a half, and it'll be an hour and a half by the time I finish signing off. But yeah, for the 8 other viewers, they didn't stick around for that long, so their average ended up being 20 minutes and 30 seconds for our average time. And the maximum concurrent viewers we had at any given time was 5. So, yeah, share the channel, tell everybody you know that you love it and you think it's awesome. I guess my big decision is which hat will we be wearing next week? But we'll probably do our live stream for next Wednesday at this same time because I think this probably works out for more people. We'll see. Um, Other than that, don't do anything I wouldn't do. I will see you all next week. Thank you very much for those of you who stayed. Thank you especially, Dad and Monica. And I appreciate you guys keeping me entertained here in the chat, keeping each other entertained. So I will fire up our sign off music again, and I will see you next time.